Hello, and welcome back after quite some time to my RP-1 campaign on hard. I'm finally back home at my desktop, ready to do this this Earth to Venus and Venus to Earth mission. Um, so Alex Hudson had some helpful advice once I uploaded the last video of this to YouTube. And so now I'm trying to find a window that will work. So I've got this transfer home, which is almost 4 kmsec. But the transfer out, yeah, it wants to be in this window. Wants to arrive on the 18th of March with a cheap capture and a fairly expensive departure. We could have a cheap departure and an expensive capture, but I don't think it's worth it. So these numbers are 73, 11, 24. Ejection is 3852. Arrival is March 18th. And then go Venus to Earth. Have a nice big window there. And that ejection is quite cheap. Oh, it's quite cheap because we're in the wrong year. Okay, 74, 03, 18, 3908. Hey, squirrel. Thanks for coming by. Yes, it is good to be back. So, and then we arrive home 750101. Now let's look at a different option, which is we would like, oh, so we save very little on the ejection by ejecting earlier. So yeah, this is definitely going to be the best bet. Short stay at Venus, but yeah, it's about 10 meters per second per day is the cost of staying at Venus longer. So sure, I'll add that alarm. And then Earth to Venus at 28.5. Okay, so it would like to arrive in April. Oh, right, that's why. Now it's arriving earlier in March. Interesting. Oh, right, because yeah, because I capped it there. Yeah, that is a massive fall off. Between the 19, between arriving. Ah, oh, it's because it's swapping from this window to that window. That's what's going on. I didn't notice. Because in this case, the ejection becomes cheaper and the insertion becomes more expensive. But we would rather have it the other way around. Okay. That's enough to be going off on. So let us load up that craft. Try to remember what I was even doing. So one thing Kirk noticed is that the numbers for liquid hydrogen tankage are wrong on integral tanks, and that was why I had such horrible delta V numbers. Where might you be? So this was the balloon version. Let us consider. Diameter is this tank. This tank is, oh, it's 8 foot. Okay. They are 8 feet by 13.6 meters. And Oh, I'm going to be sad about having to redo all that staging. Oh, right, I can do this now. Okay, let us... Oh, I also deleted the RCS. Oh well. I'll deal with that. Okay. So the apportionment of this is a little wrong. Because what we want is about, what did I say? Yeah, about 4 kilometers per second across this. Oh, that's about what we have, actually. Okay, so there will be a tiny bit left in the other tanks. But we have a problem, and that problem is we are almost a kilometer per second short. And I am uncomfortable extending the burn time of this thing. That's 33 minutes. So we have almost 40 minutes of burn time on this engine. That's a lot. I'm not sure trying to extend it beyond that will do much good. Like, I could try to carry 2 engines and switch to 8 tanks. But I think carrying a second engine is going to do horrible things to my Delta V. I want to see what I did for RCS here. Oh, did I not actually give it RCS? Looks like no. Looks like no. It's like I was just using the existing RCS. All right, what were the other? Oh, it was just this. Okay. Okay. So let's see what happens to our mass ratio if we have 2 of these things. We are at 6,800 meters per second. That's not anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be. So in reality, you'd need a shadow shield between the 2 of them, as Ferrum pointed out, because they irradiate each other. But thankfully, that is not simulated here. I mean, in reality, you just design a larger engine, probably. But this has high specific impulse, which I really like. Okay, let's try with 8 of these tanks. Oh, nope, they're ever so slightly interpenetrating. That's bad. So let's solve it this way. Many, many drop tanks. Okay, now we're looking pretty good. We did increase from 60 tons to 75 tons, which is not great. Which means we're going to need a beast of a launch vehicle for this. Okay. I mean, yes, we could do this with a two-launch architecture. It's just this is a wallowing pig, and I don't want to deal with having to dock it. So yeah, we have 4 km/sec and then 3.3 km/sec. So this leaves us with almost 500 meters per second spare, which I like, given probably get a little boil off, even with radiators. Squirrel, yeah, I mean, the thing about launching it empty, though, liquid hydrogen is not very heavy. So, like, you're not going to gain quite as much as you think you would, and it still is not going to solve the wallowing pig problem. Hey, no, Mr. Bond. The wallowing pig problem is I do not want to try docking this thing or docking things to it. And I certainly don't want to try a 3-launch architecture. Or I guess it would be, I could do a 2-launch architecture where I launch this on its TLI stage unfueled and then bring up the liquid hydrogen, tank it up, and then, not TLI, TVI. I think I just want to do a monoblock launch. And it needs a little over, needs about 3.8 km/sec for the ejection. Interestingly, however, oh, no, I do actually, no. Even though it is a wallowing pig, I do need to do 2-launch. And the reason I need to do 2-launch, there's 2 reasons I need to do 2-launch. One reason to do 2-launch is because it will take forever to build otherwise. And the second reason to do 2-launch is it takes advantage of the fact that I have multiple VAB lines. So yeah, I'm not getting away with the fact that I will have to do this as 2-launch architecture. What's interesting about that, however, is then I might well want to. Oh no, that's why I stuck to 8 feet. Right. Now I remember. That's why I stuck to 8 feet. The reason I stuck to 8 feet was because did I even build this launch vehicle or no? I think I didn't. The reason I stuck to the 3 8-foot things is because I wanted to use something using this tooling, 25-foot tooling, as the ejection stage. And to do that, that means that this thing needs to stay under 25 feet, which of course it no longer is. However, given that I'm going to have to tool something larger anyway to launch the rest of the launch vehicle, I'll just make everything that diameter, and it'll just be a really chunky third stage. No, Mr. Bonds, you say, do you lose tanks in pairs? Yes. As you can see over here, there's many, many stages despite only 2 engines, and that's because those decouple, those decouple, those decouple, and lastly, those decouple. That RCS is somewhat pitiful. So let's put some big old RCS on here. Hey, Piano Josh, welcome. What do I need? I need a couple of these tanks. Highly pressurized. Two feet by 2 feet. And we'll stick with Animation Mon 3. That's fine. Ooh, which one is which? That one. Okay, so we've got 100 liters of each, give or take. And the burn rate on these things is 4 times that, which is 0.3. Yeah, okay. I would have expected a higher burn rate, but okay. So the question is, can we make it to Venus? Crew, let's evict everyone but 2. Let's simulate it. Start in orbit. Orbital altitude. We'll do 300 kilometers. And we want to be 298 days, 22 hours, 21 hours. Sure. Let's try it. Yes, alarm. I'm perfectly well aware that you've lapsed. Oh, I didn't set my inclination. Well, that's fine. We can do what we're supposed to here, which is $28.5 and 260.5. Okay. So according to this, it is a 3.8 km/sec ejection burn. That's looking pretty good. All right, we'll let MechJeb figure it out. And the duration. Okay, so they almost agree on the transit time. And the insertion at least is correct. Ooh, that RCS is in the wrong stage. Okay. Why did all the radiators start deactivated? Okay, there goes all the solar panels, and let us orient to the sun. Interesting, the usage rate on that RCS is way higher than I calculated, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Hey, Fast Fire Guy. Hello, Raiders. Okay, 38.55. And then 237. This is my poor man's transfer stage. I pointed directly. I may have pointed wrong. Okay, and then 237 normal. And then 23 radial. Okay, do we have a... All right, 150,000 kilometers. So we'll fine tune that. Let's try to fine tune it here. Okay, that's making basically no difference. Where is the AN? Really like to not be quite so far out of plane. Okay, so the solar panels are wrong way up. Good to know. Yeah, that stinks. I put the solar panels on wrong way up. So gonna have to turn on Infinity C. Oh, that's why I put them that way. Because we're going to use this to shield the crew from radiation. Only problem is, oh, no, the solar panels are the right way up. I just forgot to change them from 6 to 8 when I changed from 6 to 8 tanks. That's what's going on. Anyway, let's get out of our SOI. Still moving very fast. That is an interestingly inclined orbit. All right, let's create our fine tune. And we need to be aligned some way that we are not. Okay, here we go. Why did it do that? Oh, it did that because it takes them forever to throttle up. Okay. All right, there's 500 kilometers. That'll do. Okay. There's that. Now let's try I wonder if it'll let me do this or not. It will. Good. The inclination of that is horrible, however. So we will need to fix our inclination. Which probably involves, nope, that's Mars. Okay, let's hmm. Okay, that's looking a little better. Nah. I am very bad at adjusting inclination. Like, clearly the issue is we're coming in above the plane, which means we want to perform some maneuver a ways back that then adjusts our arrival inclination. But trying to do this is very annoying. And I wish I could just have MechJeb generate it, but I don't know enough to know what I'm doing here. Okay, so I think what I want to do I want to shift the AN Wait, that makes no sense. How is that the AN? Like, we're orbiting this way. That should be the DN. How is that the AN? You know what? This is a problem for future me. Instead, I'm just gonna warp there. And fix our inclination using hyperedit when we get there. And everything will be fine. Because this is only a sim. Thank you, Coca Koala. Okay, so we're going to align. Oh, am I doing the... Did I do this the wrong way? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We wanted radial plus. Okay. And away we go. Why did it just bop me out of warp? The heck keeps canceling my time warp? What is it trying to... Nah. Where's the antennas? There's the antenna. Okay, now we have good comms, because I forgot to extend the antennas. Still don't know what keeps bopping me out of warp, though. How did we run out of electric charge despite literally having infinite electric charge on? That is puzzling. changing it from non-infinite electricity to infinite electricity only extends the duration. That's very strange. What what the heck is consuming electricity even though we have infinite electric charge on?
Hey there.
Hello. Uh, I am so out of practice that I forgot to join voice chat. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. I pinged you here and on
Yeah,
the
yeah. I
Twitch
saw
chat.
you. I saw the Twitch chat because I wasn't looking at Discord, so I missed
I
Discord.
figured.
Yeah. I'm mostly very confused, as you doubtless heard, as to why infinite electricity is on and Kerbalism is still draining my batteries.
Oh,
That is
that's
pretty funny.
interesting. Guess it
Yes.
just doesn't respect the cheat.
No, the best part is it sort of does, because when I turn infinite electricity off, the duration of my battery life decreases. So it like half respects it.
Duration of your battery life decreases. Doesn't increase? That's opposite, isn't it?
No, so with the cheat off, it says they run out in 2 hours.
Oh,
With
okay.
infinite electricity on, they run out in 5 hours.
Is
Uh,
there
that's defining infinite down.
is there some system that is ignoring the cheat and some that is? I guess.
That would be my guess. Except Kerbalism is notionally managing all of it, so
Mm,
super weird.
yep.
My hunch is that. Oh no, I was going to say it was maybe real antenna because I didn't notice this until I extended the antennas, but like maybe not. Um, very
Why
strange.
cheating anyway? What's going on?
Because this is a sim,
I
and
got it.
I forgot to change my solar panel orientation after I went from 6 tanks to 8 tanks.
Mm,
So
a
as
little
you can
occluded,
see,
yeah.
there's yes, they are pretty occluded. So what I'm going to do instead,
Oh, this
since
is your Venus mission,
yep,
manned Venus.
yeah. So Alex Hudson gave me some nice orbital mechanics tips on what I could do for the launch to make it work. And mostly it involved extending the return search window from like only couple hundred days out to like 300 days. And that found something that was cheap enough. Also, because Kirk changed the dry mass of hydrogen tanks.
Right, yeah, I
So
remember that
that
chat.
gave me some more delta V also.
Did you switch which engine? Yeah, you switched which engine you were using too.
Yeah, I'm using the Pewees, which I think was the thing you recommended because it has the high specific impulse.
Oh, it wasn't just the high specific impulse. It was also better TWR than anything else you had
Yes.
available. It's
Yeah, it's just better.
basically the best of all worlds. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so apparently I'm going to have to turn away a bit so some of these get. Nope, all of them are still blocked. Okay, sure. No, we didn't want to go that far. about like that. All right, so now we have perpetual EC. Thanks to the magic of we're closer to the sun now.
That works. It's
You-
going to be okay on your return journey when your solar is a bit degraded.
Uh, I'm I'm gonna fix the panel such that we'll
Oh
have
yeah,
good
yeah.
alignment. I just need to actually warp there. Yeah, okay, so that's what the problem was. The other thing that you may know the answer to this, I was struggling to solve this problem, is I want to come in so I'm roughly in the plane of the ecliptic with respect to Venus, because this arrival is bad. Um, and so my presumption of what I should be doing,
Why is your rival bad?
because I'm going to need to be in a good plane so I can then do an ejection burn.
I gotcha. Mm,
So my presumption of what I should be doing is I want to burn anti-normal about here. And then normal somewhere around here, and that should put me in plane.
that could be pretty expensive to do it that way. Although I think yes, you can do it that way.
What would you suggest instead?
Um, Fixing it at Venus if you can hang out, like the high AP, low PE orbit in Venus for a little bit to fix it there.
Uh, is that actually going to be cheap given how far away from the equator the Persetherian actually is?
Mm, maybe not.
Because like let's try to minimally capture Venus, right? So
Yeah.
snap and minus 1200. See what that does. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty cheap capture actually. So we can yeah, it's only going to be about 800 meters per second to capture. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen a capture this cheap before.
So yeah, you probably what we want to do is, well, my guess is what we want to do is do this cheap capture at Venus. Get out to the AP, accelerate till you're in a big circle, then fix it, then readjust. Because that should be extremely cheap. But I mean, it's going to take time. I don't know how much time you got hanging out Venus. It sounded like you had a lot if you're looking at a return in 300 days.
No, we haven't gotten to Venus yet.
Yeah, no, no. I
So
understand that.
yeah, the return is 39 days from now. The trip duration is long, but we're only staying
Gotcha,
at
gotcha.
Venus like 4 or 5 days.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, you don't have to go that high of an AP. It's still going to be. I mean, I guess figure out how expensive the maneuver is to do it in the heliocentric orbit, and then we can try out this one. How far are you? What's your inclination with this one?
With the existing orbit at Venus,
Yeah,
that looks like 45 degrees
gotcha.
visually.
Yeah.
Maybe a little higher, maybe 50. Um, yeah, so changing from whatever the heck it is to 45 degrees is almost 200 meters per second because uh, that's where the cheapest AN or DN is going to be. Now, I mean, that makes sense because if you look from the side, that's about where the equator is. Like
Yeah,
this,
yeah. I'm not saying you do this. I'm saying you do the minimal capture, make your orbit larger at the AP, and then fix it at the equator.
oh, I see what you mean.
But if you only have 39 days there, you're already wasting that going out to the AP.
Yeah. Also, that's going to be fairly expensive. How expensive is this? Yeah, that's 400 meters per second
Hmm.
just to do this.
Okay, let's try out the heliocentric version.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to end badly.
Mm.
Okay, so the other version. Let's put 30 meters per second in there.
You're right. It's just been so long since I've messed with this. Been on a Factorio kick for a long while.
Ha! Yeah, it does tend to do that. What are you playing with in Factorio?
Uh, Trastoria 2 and space exploration.
Funny you should say that. That is exactly what my friends and I are playing with.
How do you have time for this in Factorio?
I mean, I haven't for the last 2 months had time
There.
for either. Um, okay, so that I would have thought like my impression of the orbital mechanics involved is if we add 30 meters per second down over the course of 43 days or whatever, or however, oh no, not 43 days. Yeah, 35 days. We will move down a good bit, which means that we should be able to. That's 31 days. All right.
Yeah, you should come in closer to the ecliptic, and then when Venus captures you, a lot of your normal to the plane of the orbit kind of gets washed out by being captured by Venus.
Yeah, that's what I think, but
But you still have to fix this so that
yeah,
it the P is close to Venus.
yeah, that's all right. So this is expensive, but it's not as expensive as it might be.
where are you fixing this?
Uh,
Is this still the maneuver you were doing before?
so no, this is a second maneuver that's quite close to Venus.
Why not just
Over here.
fix it at the maneuver you were doing before?
Because I don't think you can get both in the same maneuver.
Hmm.
So there's two ways of doing this. One is trying to fix the incoming inclination before Venus, and the other way of doing it is I really wish it didn't count as right-click sticky labels when you were right-clicking maneuver nodes. And now they're all stuck on screen.
Are you just trying to switch to the maneuver node you want?
No, I'm trying to get these labels to go away.
Oh.
Okay. So you're suggesting try to have a close Venus approach on this node, as
Yes.
well as change my approach. And
Hmm.
my conjecture is that I can't do that, but we'll see. Because it is exactly normal that is putting me down that far. So to get closer to Venus, I have to not push normal down so much. Right?
Let's see. Yeah, you're injecting there. Yeah, I guess so. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the other way. What it can be, however, is we just need to get the nope, wrong one. We just need to get the periapsis on the equator.
That's true.
Nope, that's too much. That's pretty close, I think. Now we get to futz around with it to make it closer. Oh, I know what. I know how we can do. Right, this is perfectly equatorial. I know that much. which means I can get rid of that and then line this up. Whoa, that's far. Okay. There we are. So that's expensive,
Hmm.
but it's not that expensive.
Is this on the maneuver node that's relatively close to your current time?
No, this is the maneuver node that's closer to Venus.
Yeah, you might try just moving it back a few days and see if you can make it cheaper
Yeah,
that way.
that's fair. There's a couple days, and yes, the answer to that question is yes. Okay, so now we're coming in almost exactly polar, but it doesn't matter because the periapsis is on the equator, which means the correction will be very cheap.
Hmm.
Or comparatively cheap. It won't be that cheap because we will be limited to uh, let's see, that's 34 days, and we depart, so we're limited to like a 3-day orbit, probably, where we go up, correct, come back down, that's 3 days, and then circularize lower and still have a couple days to orbit. Okay. But the main point of this exercise was, oh, we don't need to be 276 kilometers. That's fine. Um, main point of this is now we can go ahead and create a node to capture. Oh, shoot. I did the wrong node. That that is very annoying. Now I have to recreate that node.
Happens if you go even more, I guess, down with that initial maneuver, the one you are only putting 30 meters per second into.
Um, that is a good question. But I'd forgotten the fact that it doesn't actually matter because I just need to do something where the inclination is cheap to change.
Yeah.
So that then I can, I'm just trying to get MacJeb's estimation of the return cost.
Gotcha.
Um, let's
So
see.
you don't need to solve this problem now, in other words.
Yeah, because the actual mission will have a different problem. I mean, it'll have probably a similar problem because my ejection won't be perfect. But Bustier, the the crossing is directly at Venus, which is why this was cheap. Okay, that's going to be close enough, I think. All right, so let's try this again. Create a maneuver here, switch to it this time. Snap it there. Okay, so 34 days and 3 hours, 34 days and 18 hours. That's going to be pretty cheap, which means we can then change inclination to, let's say 25 degrees. That is not cheap. So apparently I was not that accurate in my pericytherian placement. Now we want to circularize at an altitude of 600. What do you mean it doesn't reach it? Of course it reaches it. Oh, no it doesn't. What am I saying? We'll do that. And that's pretty cheap. And now let's do our ejection. So Earth, set target. That's nice. Oh, no, that's why. Why is that so expensive? Why is that 5.4 kmsec?
Yeah, that's an expensive return back to Earth.
Yep. Kill that. Kill that. And instead, let's try 28 degrees. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So there's the window that we care about. And it's expensive because the plane is not aligned correctly. But it's close to what transfer window claimed. I did try manual selection. That is exactly what I tried. I clicked on it. Create node. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, I don't get it. Lamont! All right, so that is an interesting MechJeb bug. Like clearly the pork chop plotter is finding something, but it does go to show that like much of this is just to verify that transfer window planner is right, because I did have that time where transfer window planner was not right. Um, Okay.
All you have to verify is that you can get to the orbit that Transfer Planner window thinks you should be at, and
Yes.
then verify that you could cheat yourself into that orbit to find out whether you could
Yeah.
make the ejection you want.
Yep. All right. So let's now the next question is, will we have any LH2 by the time we get there?
EWT, does Transfer Window Planner tell you what LAN it wants to do the ejection on?
Yep.
I wonder if you could just get to the right LAN and ignore the inclination.
The right LAN is dependent on the inclination, or vice versa.
If you're looking for an equatorial inclination, then, I mean, you don't really have a LAN.
Right.
But if you know your LAN, shouldn't and you're in a low circular orbit, shouldn't you be able to eject, like at the right time regardless?
No, because you'll end up not ejecting purely prograde. So what's going on is that you need your orbit to be aligned such that your ejection vector is the actual
Hmm.
ejection vector you want,
Yeah.
and you produce you can do that by means of a purely polar orbit in an arbitrary inclination, in an arbitrary LAN, um, or for most reasonable transfers, um, probably any orbit that's like 25 degrees or more inclined is going to be okay.
Yeah. Are you sure about if you're in a polar orbit, you can do the ejection whenever you want? Sorry, regardless of your LAN. I thought if you're in a
No,
purely
it's
polar
sorry.
orbit,
What?
you need to have a specific
Yes,
LAN
that's
to
that's
be able to eject at the right time.
right. Sorry, what I mean is that you if you can control if you're launching into a purely polar orbit,
Right, right. Then
you
you can
launch
control your LAN.
that you control your LAN perfectly by definition,
Yeah,
which means that then you can achieve any arbitrary ejection vector you want.
right. But I also thought, if you're in a polar orbit with the correct LAN, I mean, that is going to give you the right ejection time. Even if you change the inclination a bit, like you're 70 or 80 degrees, you're still going to end up ejecting kind of with the
Uh,
right hyperbolic velocity. You may be in a slightly different position on the plane, slightly different, but I mean, it kind of doesn't matter.
I mean, what like that's what you see is because you can almost never perfectly match the LAN and inclination at the time of ejection the transfer window planner
Right,
wants, which is why these ejection maneuvers have like 200 meters per second if normal
right.
versus 3,500 or 4,000 of prograde, and that's correcting for that slop. If you get your timing much wronger than that, then it starts to really add up. What was that warning about, Carl Smith? Oh, radiation, solar storm. Great. At least the radiators are keeping the LH2 cold. Okay. And this is why we designed the craft so that the solar panels would be pointed aft. For situations like this. Okay, we seem to be out of the storm now. Okay, we should be back to perpetually C. Yep. Okay, good. Now, can we actually get to Venus? Why do we keep coming out of time warp? Let's try this again. Nope. What keeps taking us out of time warp? Apparently Surveyor 5 needs to get whacked.
Sounds aggressive.
That's Surveyor 8. No, stay. Where's Surveyor 5? There's Surveyor 5. Yep. Okay, let's try again. That's much better. Okay. So let's do the capture burn. See how this works. Interesting that the more RC okay, so we definitely need to pack more RCS propellant because I've gone through a bunch of it. Probably need to double it. Okay, so we have basically a 15 plus minute burn, which I think we probably could do over 2 burns, but we'll see what happens if we do it over 1 burn. Like, we really only need about 6 or 7 minutes to get down to a pretty fast orbit. And then we can clean up on the successive passes. Yeah, I think I actually want to do it that way.
Surprised you're having your RCS fire into your tanks.
Yeah, I would like it not to, but I'm not sure how to, on this design, like there's not a great alternative. I guess I could put it here, but.
Are you dropping those tanks?
Yes.
Right.
What don't you like about that? That's weird. That's super weird. It likes that, but it doesn't like anything less. All right, let's do that. That's about half the burn. A little less than half the burn. But probably about half the burn in terms of time. Whee! There we go. Power of the atom. That's pretty. Taking a picture since I doubt I'll get as good a picture from the real mission. That's some hot radiative nozzles. Okay, we've captured.
I like how my obsessions transfer perfectly over to Factorio. I spend way too much time
Yep.
optimizing designs and way too little time actually playing the game.
Yep. All right, switching to the next set of tanks. Yeah, it's ironic because I actually don't get at all invested in optimizing my Factorio designs. Although I guess I'm not super invested in optimizing Kerbal designs. I mostly just make them pretty. Um,
I think you optimize when you're forced to, but
yeah.
Factorio doesn't really force you to most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, just more elbow grease works in Factorio in a way that sometimes doesn't in Kerbal.
Yep. All right. We've captured into a 7-hour orbit. That's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty good.
And we have almost 2 kilometers per second more delta V than we actually need. Which is good given that I was looking at probably 800 meters per second worth of corrections to the incoming orbit. So, yeah.
It's a pretty big margin.
Yes.
I'm surprised how high you kept your periapsis here too.
Well, the original version of this, I was looking at probably the equivalent of that maneuver would have been 20 minutes. So, yeah, now I can have a periapsis as low as like 300 kilometers or something. Probably be fine. Although even this, like you'll notice that we're already a good 5-6 degrees off retrograde.
Yeah, but 5-6 degrees isn't too bad. That's not very
Yeah.
much in cosine losses.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's more like 12 degrees on either end. The throttling time on those things is so horrible. Well, it takes like 18 plus seconds to get up to full thrust.
Well, you got to spin the neutron moderator around and to the reflector side.
Yep.
And then you kind of don't want it to heat up too fast at that point still.
Yes. Yeah. Nice thing of having two is have roll control as well, so don't need RCS during a burn. Man, our departure burn. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering why Twitch has such a high delay.
I don't know.
4 or 5 seconds. Because I can hear you when you click the button to release your tanks.
Some of that is for um, a lot of that is for esports, I think.
Okay. What's that last stage that is giving you 450 meters per second?
That's the service module
Gotcha.
and an AJ-10. Because the plan is to ditch all of this once we depart from Venus and do course corrections on the AJ-10. The reasoning mostly being that I can, with the radiators, I was reasonably comfortable that the LH2 would survive the 115-day transit and then a few days at Venus, but another 280 days coming home seemed less likely.
I mean, essentially no boil off is essentially no boil off one way or the other.
True, but I didn't know that I was going to have no boil off. I was hopeful, but
Sure.
that's why I'm simming it. Oh yeah, I can turn this off now. Okay, we are in an approximately circular orbit. Uh, let's look at how expensive it is to go home from this orbit. I'm pretty sure it will be prohibitive. Oh, we're still targeting Earth. Okay. Oh. Oh no, that's why. Yeah. 500 meters per second penalty for the fact that we our inclination in land sucks. 47 degrees. All right. So I was in the 45 to 50 range. My estimate was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if it's only 500 meters per second penalty, like correcting is going to be more expensive than that. So
Yeah, but it does mean so that's bad because that's approximately all the delta V we have.
fair
So
enough.
we do need to be in a little better. Let's try that. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, shoot. I hate when that happens. Wish you could turn off double clicking with deselect targets because I do it so much. That's better. Let's see if it'll fail again or if it actually creates the node. Failed. Why does it fail? So annoying. How the heck am I supposed to try manual selection if it won't let me? Let's try that one. Nope. Well, that sucks.
That's weird.
Yep. All right. Well, we know that it's probably something like 3,800 with a big chunk of normal. So let's see what happens if I just try to manually do this. There we are. That's pretty close.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Although you're almost going out to Mars to get that intercept.
Oh. T minus 39,000 days. Thanks, KSP. That seems wrong. How is that even?
Yeah, how is that even a thing?
Yeah, that one's at minus 45,000 days. That's 85,000 days. The
Doing?
numbers keep going up. I don't know, man. Maybe that's why the optimization is failing, because all the solutions are literally 5 million days from now.
Why would it even be looking that far in advance for a closest approach? That just makes no sense.
I got nothing. All right. Now those numbers are making some sense.
That does look like it wants you to wait 3 months at Venus.
Yep. Well, sure, we can wait a little while. There's 20 days. Now the separation is further.
That's... Oh yeah, of course.
Hmm?
Sorry. Yes, I'm sleepy, but yeah, of course that makes sense. Venus is faster.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, spoiler, without MechJeb, I'm kind of in trouble. So here's how we, I guess, can solve it. Is we'll just match this. Venus to Earth, initial orbit, (285), inclination 29.9, oh, 88. Destination Earth, and it is 15th March 74. See what we get. 15th March 74. Ejection land 313.15. Okay. Ejection angle. Ejection delta V 3910. So we should be able to get something with this. That's close. Except it's the usual orbit bug, where it refuses to give me an encounter.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yep. All right, well, I think that's correct. How did they jump all the way over there? Okay. Closest approach is 1.5 million kilometers. 0.1. All right, I think that's correct. Those are lies. Okay, let's burn that node.
can't. No. Sorry. Does seem like my cat is a fan of your stream now.
All right, so this is 20 degrees off prograde.
Am I coming through?
Yep.
Maybe I'm just not hearing you, actually.
That's weird.
Can you say something again?
Okay, trying again. Can you hear me
Okay.
now? Okay.
Yep.
Good.
He also somehow muted me.
Ah,
Or sorry, not muted me. He muted my audio.
yeah.
My mic.
This is another reason why I was going to go for a higher orbit, because the curvature on this is going to be bad, so we'll have a big course correct.
It's probably too late now since it sounds like you're ending your thing soon, but you should install that maneuver splitter
I really should, yes.
for the next one.
Is it actually going to be correct?
Is what?
Maneuver node splitter. Like, have you been using it? Does it actually do the thing?
I haven't been using it. It does seem to do the thing. Wouldn't it be correct?
No, because things
If it
will...
splits it backward, should it?
Um, I would be very surprised if it actually does what it needs to do, but let's see.
I mean, it's built for interplanetary ejection burns, so
Yeah, but it's built for them in stock KSP.
that's true.
Where it's assumed that you can do a bunch of corrections. Yeah, looking at the code, I have my doubts. Like, I think it may just be doing the naive thing.
Okay.
Which is not going to result in a correct maneuver because, like, everything will have shifted by the time you come around again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Also, it looks like it's sort of dependent on interfacing with Kerbal Engineer. Alex Hudson, thanks to your help, I'm actually sort of doing this thing. I mean, this is a sim, but managed to find some doable maneuvers for the flight plan. Uh-oh, did I forgot to stage? No, I didn't forget to stage the drop tanks. I have one more pair of drop tanks. Bye-bye, last pair of drop tanks. Now it's just the core. Which, incidentally, has no radiators, which is another reason we're dropping it. Now let us see how close we get. So, Squirrel, I thought I had 2 kmsec more than necessary, but I was wrong. Okay. So, I'd like to do the fine tune now, but I kind of can't. Because MechJeb is refusing to do it, and we don't have an encounter to base it off of. So,
shame nobody's done a mod that replaces that intercept code.
Yep. I mean, someone has, just it replaces a few other things too.
Yeah, without installing Brickypia.
Okay, now let's create the fine tune. That is a very expensive fine tune. Why is that so expensive? I'm sad. Wait, why are we draining RCS propellants from here? That's weird. Oh, I know why, I think. I think I made that decoupler crossfeed. That was a mistake. Wait, why are we not? Oh, do I not have avionics? I bet yeah. Okay, sure. That was also a mistake.
Seems like it'd be better to just put radiators on your core and forgo the service module.
I mean, this was working okay. I forgot the avionics, but the avionics are simple to add.
Mm.
Also probably packed too much life support. Okay. Still claims we don't have an Earth encounter. I'm doubtful. I'm very doubtful. Like, I trust MechJeb over this code. Yeah, it looks like the periapsis is flickering. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's reorient so we have good solar panels. Okay, now we... Oh, that's in however many million days. Uh-oh. Apparently we've got another solar storm. Okay, apparently we need to burn this correction, which is almost exactly radial, so that's fine. How does that code get so confused?
That is very odd. Why would it not terminate? I mean, first of all, why is it looking so far in the future? I mean, I think it just must be. It should be reporting a bad result because it certainly wouldn't be looking thousands of years into the future, right?
Yeah. Mariner 5 relay, why are you being annoying? And so many of these things I forgot to configure correctly. Okay. Okay, so everybody on Space Lab is getting stressed out. Wait a minute, how is there now an 11.3 meters per second correction? At least now it agrees about the intercept. Okay, where's the, there it is. Okay. Why the heck did it just get... Why did it just get super messed up from coming out of time warp? Hate when that happens. Uh, okay. That's not good. How long do we have? We have 51 days. Okay. Apparently I did not include enough life support supplies. Good to know.
Much are you off by?
Uh, about 70 days. Because I planned for the original transfer, not the extra lengthy return transfer. Nope, that wasn't enough. Yeah, I'm going to need like almost half again the food and water and stuff. Not quite, but Yeah. Interesting. And it got screwed up again. All right. And I'm just going to deal with this now. Oops. Wrong one. Oops. Carl Smith died of radiation. Okay. Cool story. That's not great.
That noise.
Sorry, I had to fix my headphones.
Okay. Wait, don't be sorry. It's just curious.
Well, I apologize to everyone listening on the stream. There's the Mon 3. There's the Mon 3. Yeah, based on the discussion in the Discord, I'm just going to turn storms off. Okay, we are now almost home. Oh, heh, right. The heck? Okay, that's good. Now, I think I want something like 30 kilometers, 36 kilometers for entry. We'll see. Here we come. Okay, 38 kilometers. I wonder if that's at all a reasonable perigee. Oh, that's a slower. Oh, that's because we're still 15,000 kilometers up. I was going to say that was a slower reentry than I expected, but it's lies, all lies. Yeah, I have hopes for this heat shield. High hopes. Because if not, we'll have to bring a lot more LH2 and then perform a braking maneuver. All right, so let's look at the capsule.
Putting water into the capsule?
Yeah, I guess we don't need, at this point, we don't need anything.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you should take everything heavy off.
Yes. Oh, oops. Nope, wrong way. I guess technically I can dump the wastewater and the waste.
You can also dump the water.
Well, yeah, but I already transferred it out of the capsule. All right, I think we're ready to make our entry. Cross your fingers. Descent mode is on. Force roll, pitch of 14. Here we go. Okay, so I need to write down what our entry velocity is so I can sim it if necessary. That's nice. Inclination is low enough that we're getting pretty strong benefit from coming in with rotation. Here we come.
That's faster than I expected, though.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. All right, let's get ready to roll ship. Oh God, what just popped? Why? Why is the forward heat shield? What was that about? That was extremely strange. Also, the bottom of the log is cut off.
Yep. That is weird, too.
Okay, apparently them's the brakes. Apparently we can't enter that fast. Or at least enter that fast coming that low. This is why we simmed it.
You need a better chance for back from Venus.
I mean, that was about as good as it gets. That's the thing. Also, apparently my log is 360 megs. Wonder what's spamming. Yeah, so I guess we do need something that will take a few kilometers per second off on return. So you're right. Clearly, we have to take the NTR with us.
max speed on your heat shield is.
I don't know. Oh, so earlier on the heat shield exploded. Oh, because it's got the wrong heat shield on it.
Well, that would do it too. What did he put on there?
Apparently I put on the Block 3 Plus heat shield, which I didn't think I did. But apparently I did. That would tend to explain what was happening. All right, let's put on the real one and see what it does to delta V. Yep, wrong heat shield. That would be why everything exploded. 7727. Let's replace it with Apollo heat shield. That costs 20 meters per second. Next step. These are about a kilowatt each. So we're at 6 kilowatts, and we want to change to there's 8. Okay, and we want about 737. That's fine. Now, avionics is what I'm forgetting. I need to turn crossfeed off on this. And we need way more here. That costs 100 meters per second. That's not great. So we'll just stretch all of these.
But if you're, sorry, where did you put the avionics?
My avionics are right here. How heavy are they anyway? $250 kilograms. So I'm just gonna put them up here in the service module.
Thought we were ditching the service module altogether.
No, I was broadly happy with how it performed.
Okay, so you're not expecting to use the NTR to slow down at Earth still?
No, because the heat shield was wrong.
Gotcha. Is the right heat shield still going to survive 13 kmsec?
We're about to find out because I'm going to sim it.
Gotcha.
Okay. And the last bit was we needed another 75 days of life support. But first I'm going to sim it and just see how that works. And let's get the data from that. So 13,476. The inclination was 13.2 degrees. Okay. Now, .35 kilometers. All right, this is going to be a little faster than before, but it's a good comparison. Let's see how this works. Yes, we're coming in about 50 meters per second faster. Hey, Stun Smile. 16 Gs, that's kind of bad.
They knew what they signed up for, custom elite. Are you a blader?
Still got half. Yeah, it was just the wrong heat shield.
So you could come in more shallow than that too. Sorry, less shallow.
I mean, I was already pulling 16 Gs, so I don't think I want to come in any less shallow than that.
Thought coming in less shallow would make you pull less Gs.
No, Gs are broadly linearly proportional to entry angle. So the steeper your entry angle, the higher the Gs you'll encounter. But the lower the total heat load a bit.
But being less shallow, higher P, that's what you want to lower Gs.
Less shallow would be steeper, right?
I guess. Yeah. Okay. I was talking about the depth in the atmosphere rather than the angle, but yeah, I can see where the confusion is.
Okay.
Higher P. Let's just say that.
Yes, higher P would be fine. Also, why did they all suffocate? Given that, why does this not have any oxygen in it?
Oh.
That was deeply confusing. But anyway, I'm reasonably confident that they can survive. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits there. Thank you for joining. Thank you everybody who's watching for joining. And it's great to be back. Catch you all again soon.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. Later.